CM Punk is officially cleared for in-ring competition. His match against Drew McIntyre next Saturday at SummerSlam has been made official, with Seth Rollins being confirmed as the special guest referee. An interesting development when it comes to AEW's broadcast partner Warner Bros. Discovery, as they have made their bid to stay in business with the NBA. We'll let you know all the details on that. Plus, Dominik Mysterio has rejected Liv Morgan in front of Rhea Ripley, causing the Women's World Champion to cry last night on Raw. Uncle Howdy delivers a Sister Abigail to Chad Gable. Bron Breakker will once again challenge for the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam against Sami Zayn. Speaking of Zayn, he teamed up with Jey Uso last night to defeat the Judgment Day on Monday Night Raw. Speaking of Raw, next week and for the next 2 weeks, it's going to be on the Sci-Fi network instead of USA. Plus, we have the ratings for Friday's edition of SmackDown on Fox. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's start off with the news that CM Punk is cleared to compete inside of a WWE ring for the first time since the men's Royal Rumble match earlier on this year. Out since January after suffering a torn triceps tendon in the men's Royal Rumble match, CM Punk has managed to remain impactful while rehabbing, if only by costing Drew McIntyre time and again all the while. Now cleared for in-ring competition, Punk vs McIntyre at SummerSlam was made official on Raw by General Manager Adam Pearce, with none other than Seth freaking Rollins tabbed to keep the peace as the special guest referee for the match. After exchanging pleasantries with the Green Bay, Wisconsin crowd, Punk announced that he'd recently met with his surgeon and got officially cleared before wasting no time in calling out McIntyre and taping his fist in preparation for a fight. While McIntyre came out to answer the challenge, he showed no interest in getting his hands on CM Punk right away, saying that the showdown between the two of them was way bigger than Green Bay. With that, Punk exited the ring and made a beeline for McIntyre, only to be held off by security before Pearce came out to make the match official. Citing a referee problem, Pearce then brought out Seth Rollins, who said he thrived on chaos and was looking forward to putting both McIntyre and Punk in their places. As Punk and McIntyre stared each other down from opposite sides of the ring, Rollins stood between the two, singing and dancing to his theme song and laughing in each of their faces as the segment concluded. So what are your thoughts on Punk being cleared and the match being set up for SummerSlam? How do you think this one is going to play out? Let me know your predictions in the comment section below. Now, a major update when it comes to Warner Bros. Discovery, their future with the NBA, and just how this could impact All Elite Wrestling. AEW's broadcast partner, Warner Bros. Discovery, announced that it intends to match the offer to secure a new media rights deal with the NBA. TNT Sports, owned by WBD, has aired the basketball league for over 4 decades, but reports emerged earlier this month that the NBA was close to moving on with Amazon, NBC, and ESPN. As per the terms of their current deal, WBD retained the right to match what was on offer and thus announced on Monday that it would be doing so. The New York Times has reported that the offer WBD intends on matching is the one tabled by Amazon, an 11-year package valued at $1.8 billion per annum, although the NBA is still expected to want to proceed with the new deal. There is an expectation that the matter may have to be resolved legally, as it appears to go against WBD's contractual rights emphasized in the announcement made on the matter. Quote, in an effort to continue our long-standing partnership during both exclusive and non-exclusive negotiation periods, we acted in good faith to present strong bids that were fair to both parties. Regrettably, the league notified us of its intention to accept other offers for the games in our current rights package, leaving us to proceed under the matching rights provision, which is an integral part of our current agreement and the rights we have paid for under it. TNT Sports announcement read, we have reviewed the offers and matched one of them. Our matching paperwork was submitted to the league today. We look forward to NBA executing our new contract. Now, an NBA spokesperson reportedly told The Athletic that the league is currently reviewing the offer. Amazon has declined to comment. Now, when it comes to all of this, how is it going to affect AEW? We'll let you know in just a second. As per the new agreement, NBC will reportedly stream regular season games exclusively via Peacock on Mondays, with NBC broadcasts on Tuesdays and Sundays, the latter package beginning after the NFL season. NBC is also said to have the All-Star Game and select playoffs, including 6 conference conference finals, totaling around $2.5 billion per season for 11 years. ESPN is slated to retain the NBA championship and conference finals over 11 seasons for around $2.6 billion per year. The three entities, ESPN, NBC, and either WBD or Amazon, will also reportedly pay $2.2 billion total for 11 years of WNBA coverage. The agreement with Amazon would see 6 conference finals airing on the Prime Video streaming platform, along with a full playoff slate, including play-in games and an additional regular season package, including the NBA Cup and Thursday Night Basketball once Amazon has wrapped up its football commitments. While there is a chance for a legal battle over the contractual rights, The Athletic said that Amazon's deal doesn't appear to match the existing arrangement, therefore leaving the possibility that TNT may not be able to deliver what was promised by its counterpart. The new contracts with ESPN, NBC, and Amazon reportedly do not include back-end rights as seen, with WBD perhaps looking to circumvent this issue in 11 years should all go through as planned. The NBA was reportedly hoping to have the new deals announced before the Olympics starting this Friday, but it seems that the timeline is now in flux until the issue is resolved with its current existing partners. Now, obviously, there's a lot of NBA talk. The question is, on this wrestling news channel, how does this affect AEW? Well, this new crinkle in the NBA rights saga may cause a domino effect on WBD's negotiations with AEW, as the wrestling promotion's broadcasting rights are also due to expire this year. It was reported that a new deal had been agreed to in principle, albeit delayed while the NBA matter rolled on. SE Scoops has reported that there was an emphasis on the, quote, in principle aspect of the agreement. Part of the new deal will reportedly see AEW content migrate to the Max streaming platform, including pay-per-views, and although numbers weren't specifically disclosed, the financial side of the agreement is said to be on the middle to high side of what the two parties were negotiating. WBD held exclusive renegotiation rights with AEW, ahead of which the deal was said to be agreed, that expired on Sunday. It's unlikely, given the much touted relationship between Tony Khan and his broadcast partner, that AEW will be entering negotiations with other parties in the meantime. However, that window being up leaves the option while the matter with the NBA continues to unravel. The idea for quite some time has been that WBD potentially losing the NBA could drive its interest in getting a new deal with AEW locked in, and the broadcaster is also expected to make a play for the UFC media rights open for negotiation in January of next year. Nevertheless, recent collaborations between AEW and WBD-owned IPs, DC Comics and Adult Swim, indicate that the relationship remains productive, even in the face of relative uncertainty. AEW currently airs AEW Dynamite on Wednesday nights on TBS, AEW Rampage on Friday nights, and AEW Collision on Saturday nights on TNT. So what are your thoughts when it comes to the latest developments involved in all of this? Let me know your prediction for it in the comment section below. Now, going back to Raw last night, Dominik Mysterio seemingly has pled his allegiance to Rhea Ripley. WWE Women's World Champion Liv Morgan's pursuit of dirty Dominik Mysterio has left the latter in precarious situations on several occasions over the last couple of months. Monday night on Raw, Mysterio was forcibly escorted to the ring by Rhea Ripley to confront Morgan and clear the air for one and all. After Morgan asked Mysterio to say those 3 little words from her perch, conveniently far away from the ring, in the crowd, he responded back with 3 words that she likely didn't expect, quote, "I hate you," explaining that she'd ruined his life and dressing her down in both English and Spanish. Mysterio's rant appeared to leave Morgan on the verge of tears, while Ripley glowingly approved, ending the segment by licking Mysterio's face and giving him a big smooch on the cheek before the pair walked to the backstage area together. Conversely, a sulking Morgan retreated off camera and will continue to wait her championship showdown with Ripley at SummerSlam next weekend. Where Mysterio's true allegiances lie will be up for debate between now and then. While his words last night indicate displeasure with the champion's antics, he hasn't exactly looked unhappy throughout the course of this storyline. With Morgan's goal of taking everything from Ripley still fresh in the minds of all involved, that could loom large, especially with Mysterio and the rest of the Judgment Day potentially playing a part in the outcome. The faction itself could be left in shambles, with World Heavyweight Champion Damian Priest putting his title on the line against Gunther at the biggest event of the summer as well. Now, the latest developments when it comes to the Wyatt Six last night on Monday Night Raw, beginning with Nikki Cross. Almost every week since the Wyatt Six first appeared on Raw, Nikki Cross, now bearing the appearance of Firefly Funhouse puppet Abby the Witch, has hand-delivered a VHS tape to Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. Thus far, in previous tapes, we've heard from Bo Dallas, Eric Rowan, in addition to hearing of how the death of Bray Wyatt affected them. We learned their reasons for joining the group. On this week's Raw, however, a video played featuring Cross herself. The video opened with the standard Wyatt Six imagery before showing footage of a woman in a white dress. The shot then cut to Cross wearing a different white dress with Uncle Howdy saying, "Look at yourself." Cross simply responded with a smile. "They lied, they ignored you. Watch you suffer in solitude," Howdy says. "I have been the answer all along." Two scenes then quickly jump back and forth, showing different clips. One is a clip of Cross and Howdy dancing together as we hear a slowed down version of "Look at Yourself." Cross screams out into the camera before the jump scare that typically ends the Wyatt Six segments is shown and the screen fades to blue. In earlier iterations of her character, Cross rarely if ever spoke, which suggests this could be close as we'll get to hearing the specifics of her decision to join the group. Cross's previous WWE history does involve elements of broken friendship that could theoretically be more deeply explored, though it's possible the decision not to do so just yet involves Cross's most consistent friend on the main roster, Alexa Bliss, who many still expect to join the Wyatt Six at some point given her association with the late Bray Wyatt herself. Now, as far as Uncle Howdy on Raw last night, Chad Gable suffered his first Sister Abigail finishing maneuver at the hands of the Wyatt Six Uncle Howdy on this week's episode of Raw. During Monday night's episode, Gable and his new pupils, the Creed brothers, wanted to help Gable's former pupils of the Alpha Academy's Otis, Akira Tozawa, and Maxine after they teamed up with the New Day's Xavier Woods and had a celebration with Woods during Monday's episode. Gable has been terrorized since their main roster debut of the Wyatt Six due to him turning his back on his family. On Monday, in the middle of the ring, Gable and the Creed stated they wanted to help the Alpha Academy, specifically Otis. Gable, however, ran down Otis and said his former pupil should do the right thing and join him. Otis said no, and Gable called him an idiot before the team started beating each other down. Gable handed the Creed brothers a set of chairs before stepping back, and the lights in the arena went down before the ominous tones of the Wyatt Six began, targeting the bully Gable once more. The smoke within the ring started heavily. The Wyatt Six headed down the ramp towards Gable and the Creeds. Uncle Howdy, of course Bo Dallas' character, surprised Gable in the middle of the ring and hit him with his late brother's finisher, Sister Abigail, in the process. Now, Bron Breakker, he's once again the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. Bron Breakker is set to challenge for the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam once again after defeating fellow NXT call-up Ilya Dragunov in a match last night on Raw. Breakker will now take on champion Sami Zayn at the major premium live event on August 3rd in Cleveland, Ohio. Breakker was bested by Zayn in a match at WWE's Money in the Bank, but never gave up the fight on Raw. The match started with a big knee from Dragunov to Breakker. Dragunov got Breakker up on his shoulders, but just couldn't finish the sequence due to Breakker's massive size. The pair couldn't capitalize and started chopping one another, before Breakker hit Dragunov's wrist across the ring before the break. Dragunov hit an enziguri, followed by a suplex and an H-bomb to Breakker before getting him up for a Death Valley driver. Breakker intercepted a flying Dragunov with a spear. To end the match, Dragunov attempted to get Breakker up onto his shoulders and hit his opponent's shoulders onto the ring apron. Dragunov got caught in Breakker's spear midair. When Dragunov's head hit the ring apron, the referee called off the match to the favour of Breakker. The referee began the count of 10, but stopped herself before checking on Dragunov outside of the ring. The referee then called off the match, awarding Breakker the new #1 contendership and will face Sami Zayn at SummerSlam next weekend. Now, speaking of Sami Zayn, he was in action, teaming up with a former Bloodline partner of his. The Judgment Day's JD McDonough and Finn Balor didn't defend their World Tag Team Championships in the main event of Raw this week, which is lucky for them because if they had, they would have lost the titles. The Irish duo was beaten by the team of Jey Uso and Sami Zayn, brought together again after Zayn saved Uso from a backstage beating. The match was pretty even until the end when Zayn nailed the Helluva kick on McDonough before diving over the ropes onto the rest of the Judgment Day. One Uso splash on McDonough later, and Zayn and Uso had sealed a big victory over the tag team champions. Zayn and Uso were one of the more beloved WWE pairings of 2022 and 2023. Zayn had become the honorary Uso during his loyalty to the Bloodline, even winning over the skeptical Jay in the 2022 War Games match. When the Bloodline eventually turned on Zayn, Jay was conflicted about it for weeks. Well, they did end up enemies, most notably in the main event of WrestleMania 39 Night 1. They would eventually rekindle their friendship after Jay himself left the Bloodline and became a single star on Raw, even teaming up again in the 2023 Men's War Games match against the Judgment Day. Zayn and Jay have largely been kept separate in 2024. As a result, the timing of this team-up is interesting. WWE is less than 2 weeks away from SummerSlam, where one-time Bloodline leader Roman Reigns is widely expected to return. WWE also appears to be setting up a conflict between Reigns and Solo Sikoa, whose new bloodline consists of Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu, with many fans speculated that the original bloodline could reunite to take on Sikoa's group. Sami and Jay teaming up again could be a step in this direction. We'll have to wait and see indeed how that all plays out. Now, Raw is going to be moving around in the next couple of weeks due to the Olympics. On last night's Raw, an upcoming programming change was officially confirmed as 2 weeks of show will be impacted. With Michael Cole reminding fans to be sure to make the switch for next 2 weeks, WWE officially acknowledged an upcoming change for Raw. For the next 2 weeks, July 29 and August 5th, Raw will be on the Sci-Fi channel instead of the USA Network. Also bumped to Sci-Fi for the next 2 weeks on July 30 and August 6, Tuesday night's edition of WWE NXT. The change comes as the 2024 Summer Olympics kicks off from Paris, France later on this week. And finally, we have the ratings for Friday's edition of SmackDown on Fox, coming courtesy of WrestleNomics and PW Torch. Despite the global IT outage forcing all flights around the world to be grounded, WWE was still able to pack the CHI Health Center in Omaha, Nebraska for the July 19 edition of SmackDown. The show saw the Blue brand take another step towards SummerSlam on August 3rd, but how many people decided to watch on Fox? According to WrestleNomics, SmackDown averaged a total of 2.313 million viewers this week, a 2% decrease from the July 12 Money in the Bank Fallout show. While these numbers are in line with the average of the past few weeks, viewership has decreased slightly compared to the same period in 2023, with July 2024 being down 4% from July 2023. As far as the key 18 to 49 demographic is concerned, that number also took a knock this past week as SmackDown earned a 0.65, down 7% from the 0.70 earned 7 days prior. However, that's a 2% increase of the 2% number from the number earned in July 2023, and is a 6% increase from the same quarter this time last year too. Quarter hour viewership is not available at the time of this recording. But there you go, guys. The latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe bottom right hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.